Okay, now our musicians will start. Bronislava and Marius Šajgalik, on the harp. Bronislava and Marius with violin. Yeah, we are looking forward.
Thank you. So we'll start by playing Chacon from Jeremiah Clark. Thank you. And now we will play 3 fragments for flute and harp, but we will play it as violin and harp.
And it's from Witold Lutosławski from Polish author.
Thanks to our artists, Bronislava and Mario Šajgalik, for nice opening. And I would like to welcome you here for everybody who stayed and who joined us today for this Aerogel Architecture Award. It's a 5th edition for this year, 2025. My name is Michal Ganobiak, and I am secretary of the award. This event is also streamed. For those one who want to share it later or find something in the archive, you can find it on our website. In our laboratory, EMPA 312 building energy materials and components, we would like to develop new aerogel materials, also to develop new aerogel material applications for buildings. And that's why we established Aerogel Architecture Award. And we are especially interested in the thermal insulating property, translucent property, and also acoustic properties and their use in architecture. So building application of aerogels, that's why it was established. And this year in 2 categories also, which were open internationally, realized solutions and student designs. But they were joined into common joint category for this year. Purpose of this award is to highlight great examples of aerogel use in buildings and summarize experience on aerogel use in architecture and construction. And we believe that it can strengthen the knowledge and also the trust, which was mentioned already here, in use of aerogel materials. This was only possible due to our partners, sponsors. Main partner Agitech, who is producer and reseller of aerogel products. You may visit their presentation stand in foyer of Academy. Fixit, producer of aerogel render. Fixit 222. They also have here presentation stand. IBIH, producer and reseller of various aerogel products for different uses, and Hasid, sister company of Fixit. We are very pleased for your support, and thank you very much. Without you, would be not this possible. Now I will ask head of our laboratory 212 building energy materials and components, Willem Malfay, to tell some words on mission of the EMPA and mission of our laboratory.
Thank you. Also from my side, warm welcome at EMPA, and nice seeing you back from the people who are here. We had a 3-day Aerogel Industry Academy Forum just preceding the award show, where it was more about the science and also architecture, but also other applications. So EMPA is the Swiss Federal Laboratories for Material Science and Technology. We are about 1,100 employees working on all things for material science. The main goal of EMPA is to bring, to have a more sustainable future to innovations in materials. So our lab at EMPA is called the Building Energy Materials and Components Laboratory, but we could also be called the Porous Materials Laboratory because we're mostly on porous materials. Things like thermal insulation is very much at the forefront, and as the name says, buildings is also very much part of this. So for the Swiss people, EMPA is generally quite well known, but for the international people, EMPA is part of the so-called ETH domain. You have the 2 very large brothers in the 6 institutes, which are ETH Zurich and EPFL, which are the 2 technical universities. They also take up 77% of the budget. And then you have 4 research institutes working on physics, water, material science, which is EMPA, which is where we are here now, and EAWAC, which works on water. EMPA has 4 research focus areas, so we work on materials, that's the confining theme, but these applications are in different areas. Aerogel definitely fits mostly in the nanoscale materials and manufacturing technologies and the built environment, and especially the Architecture Award as well. As I said, we are about 1,100 employees. We publish scientific papers, but we also have a lot of research projects and contracts with Swiss industry partners, also some European and international industry partners. We have 37 spin-off companies, and we have a base funding from the Swiss federal government, which is augmented by third-party fundings, project funding. It's a pleasure to host this Aerogel Architecture Award, and I hope you enjoy the music. I hope you all enjoy the presentations and the examples of what aerogel can do in architecture. And I hope you have a nice stay also with the drinks and tours later on. Thank you.
I would like to briefly introduce our jury. Architect Beat Keffen from Keffen Zinke Partners here from Zurich, Switzerland, who also presented today a presentation on aerogel and renovation. Architect Volker Herzog from Herzog Architecture Germany, who could not join today. Architect Manfred Wehdorn from Wehdorn Architekten from Vienna. Herzlich willkommen. And Michael O'Connor, Advapor, and Key Aerogels, who also presented today. Thanks to their experience, the selection and evaluation was in great hands. So we received in these two categories 10 projects. We know that aerogel in buildings is niche, but we didn't know that it's so niche. So the jury decided for this year to join the categories and evaluate all projects in the joint category and reward them with the same monetary prize. And some selected projects, which were first project is a proposal for a greenhouse called Urban Bloom from Brazil, students from Brazil. Second project will be adaptation of a factory in Polish Fabryka, Lejcerowicz, located in Warsaw, Poland. And third project, realized project, renovation of Manor Estate House, Gutshaus, Schaffhausen, placed in Wickede Ruhr, Germany. So now I will ask our esteemed jury member, architect Manfred Wehdorn, to give some words on award and selection of the jury. Okay. I can take it.
Okay.
It's working? Maybe it's working.
Should function. Yeah, perfect. Nice afternoon to all of you. I'm one of the members of the jury coming from Vienna, as you have heard. And may I make at first a general statement? I would say talking about aerogel means talking about sustainability. To look back to the history, I'm not only architect, I'm historian too. You remember perhaps 57 years ago, the Club of Rome was founded. And 1983, the United Nations founded the World Commission for Environment and Development a long time ago. And it really has dured a long time till we all have developed the importance of sustainability. Then the Common Future was published by the Commission for Environment and Development. That was in 1987. And as you may remember, the so-called Brundtland report. Mrs. Brundtland was the Norwegian head of the Commission, Minister President of Norwegia. And the sustainability from her point of view was based on 3 columns: economic efficiency, ecological compatibility, and social balance. Already some years ago, I said, for me personally, as an architect, they're missing as a minimum 2 more columns. First, the maintenance of the aesthetic quality of our buildings, and now we are directly coming to Aerogel. And the second, what I missed, was a future-orientated technology development. And so the criteria of our evaluation have been the preservation of appearance in case of cultural heritage, the energy efficiency concept, and the originality of the solution. These 3 points have been the basis of our selection. I think for the beginning, that's enough. Okay? Thanks.
Following will be composition performed by our artists Marius and Bronislava.
So now we play Gymnopédie by Eric Satie, arranged by Mr. Green.
We will now take a look at nominated projects in no particular order. First nominated project will be a student project of greenhouse Urban Bloom, placed in Brazil. It will be presented by co-authors and students of architecture Aline Eduarda Braz and Brenda Pimentel Ramos de Almeida. I hope I read it correctly. From Department of Architecture and Urbanism, Federal University of Paraná and Federal Technical University of Paraná, Brazil. I know that project was also done with cooperation of two more authors. If they are watching, Leonardo and Gabriel, we are sending greetings, and I think you can come to present your project.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. Today, we are presenting our project, Urban Bloom, a modular greenhouse solution that a modular greenhouse concept that explores an innovative way of using aerogel in small-scale urban infrastructure. My name is Brenda, this is Aline, and our team is also made by another two members, Gabriel Castro and Leonardo Anders, that couldn't be here today, sadly. For our site, we choose Praça Santos Andrade, a public square in Curitiba, Brazil. Curitiba is a rapidly urbanizing city, making it a perfect place to testing solutions that enhance green infrastructure and community engagement. One of our priorities in this project was creating a structure that could be assembled quickly and easily by everyone. For that, we use prefabricated materials, and lightweight components, allowing for community-led efforts. And this process we illustrated with this assemble instructions. So it's very easy and graphic, so everyone can read it and replace with and construct it in her own city. Here is the assemble module. It consists of a glue laminated timber structure sealed with translucent polycarbonate panels filled with aerogel.
Thank you. The design emphasizes modularity. Enable this unit to connect and be assembled with others if need to scale to a bigger project. The model is compact, yet it's very functional because it has the inclined facade that can be changed and can create openings in display shelves, so can function as well as selling, as well as marketing, but I would say it's a very functional design, modular. In this floor plane, you can see better this that I just talked about, because you have openings that can show displays, can be create displays as well. in the section view, you can see better the aerogel polycarbonate panels. We use two types, one 40 millimeters and the other 20 millimeters. And we use this material just because of these properties of creating thermal insulation and the light transmissions capacities. This creates a perfect environment for creating this type of structure for plants to grow. Here's the panel 40 millimeters, the details. And as I said, you can scale according to the local needs. So if you need a bigger assemble of modules, you can just unite them and make design choices according to the place that it is. And now I'd like to thank the organization of these events for inviting us, especially Michal, that came to us to offer us to come here. And we would like as well to thank you people from Studio 41 that help us a lot as well.
Let's now hear from the jury. Maybe they can share some insights on this project. Architect Bert Kempfen.
So, thank you for your presentation. A lot impressed by this little project, and we thought the project follows a worldwide trend. The authors want to promote a more sustainable urban development, including urban gardening, and at the same time to strengthen the sense of community among the population of the city of Curitiba in Brazil. The study promotes a small multifunctional greenhouse module to support the idea of urban gardening. The elements can be assembled to different sizes. They can function as a small pavilion to sell fruits or vegetables, or as a large greenhouse when different modules are added. The construction is based, as you explained it to us, on a timber skeleton and on standardized polycarbonate panels filled with aerogel. All parts can easily be transported by truck and assembled by hand on site. For the use of as a commercial stall, some panels are movable to form canopies or shelves. After use, it can be disassembled easily and transported to another place. Many characteristics of aerogel are highlighted in this project. It is not heavy, well insulating, and transparent. The study shows a new and very innovative use of aerogel. Thank you for your project.
Second presented project in this joint category will be project of adaptation of factory. Fabryka Lejcerowicz-Lubelska Kamionek located in Warsaw, Poland. Design is made by students Jiří Petrželka and Kristina Klusová from Czech Technical University, Department of Architecture, Prague. I can say that this duo also already won 2 years ago Aerogel Architecture Award 2023, first prize in the student category, and it's a great success again that you were in the selection of nominated projects. Floor is yours, Jiří. Unfortunately, Kristina could not come probably, but yeah.
Yeah, let's start. Thank you. I apologize for a little technical break, but I hope that everyone is still okay and enjoy this beautiful day. Hello, nice to see you. Good afternoon. It's biggest pleasure for me to be here again and make presentation for our next project, adaptation of Fabrika Lezerovich in Warsaw. So my name is Jiří Petrželka, and with my colleague Kristina Klusová, we are architects and architecture students from Czech Technical University for Prague. And for start location, our project is located in Warsaw in Poland, district Kamionek in ulice or street Lubelska. Here you can see the site. It's large area of the brownfield with the protected heritage building, and the rest buildings are for the demolition. Here you can see just some photos from the area. As you can see, the building is in a really bad condition for a lot of the properties or permissions. And the key for our design was how to connect history and the industrial history with the modern sustainable architecture in the Warsaw, which is the key in new identity of the city. And the last point was how to work with reduction of the amount of the waste and resources. So in analysis, you can see that the site is near train station and bus station with really frequent train and bus traffic. Here's analysis of the site, where you can see that a lot of parts are the heritage protected building, the areas, and a lot of parts is in the new vision for the next transformation. And the entire area is full of the parking cars due to the frequent public transport. And the first question was how to transfer the brownfield for the new architecture catalysator who change this area in the Warsaw. And here is the result. We find the best connection that we designed from the old building, new culture and public center, and the rest of the building is the co-living, which is owned by the city. Here's some urban concepts that we focus on some views and the connections, that the division of the spaces in the high, that our courtyard is the heart of the entire project, and we work with human scale. Here's some our urban concept, where we want to focus on some connections and the flows between the people in the new area and the entire city. And we want to make from our side the connection between the city center, the transport, and the surrounding area. Here's some point of our sustainability concept, which is the basis of our architecture designs. And due to the complication of the entire site, here is the LCA timeline of the entire project. We start with the design, selective demolition of the surrounding area, and 2 lines. First one is the really quick prefabricated development, and the second is the technical rescue of the Fabrika, some meanwhile solution, and after it complex adaptation, and rest if there's new life in our place. Here's a visualization of the new co-living in the Warsaw. Ground floor in the heart is multifunctional yard with the playgrounds, and the ground floor is full of the common rooms and commercial premises. Typical floor is full of the building units with some common rooms for the residents. Underground includes public and private parking with the multifunctional playground. And landscape or rooftop landscape in our views is the place which can give us more functions that only the cover between or before the rain. And we use the roof for the photovoltaic power plants, public spaces, and the green points for the better biodiversity in the city. Here's a section with the connection of the first playground, second playground, public space, rooftop landscape, and the rest of the spaces in our design. This co-living is designed as the prefabricated architecture from the small scale of furniture from home housing for entire city. We use the same system for everything, and everything works. Our entire project is designed as a affordable community living, which is owned by the city for everyone. Here's some kind of dispositions. It's something like the prefabricated modules. Is some interior, very visible CAT modular prefabricated boxes and integrated internal sanitary box. And in elevation, you can see that the first floor is from thermal insulated concrete due to floods and high humidity, and the rest of the buildings is only from prefabricated blocks. Now, adaptation of the Fabrica. We start with some collecting of the data about the building and communication with poradník dobrých rod praktik památkových pro architektov is something like heritage protection office in the Warsaw. We make a huge or deep analyzation when we find some details, problems, values, and next thing. After it, we made a list of the reasons why it's good to adapt this kinds of the building. After it, with good adaptation, we can really good, or we can give the new life for the space which we have in our lives now. And our design includes the flexible open space for the community and the culture events. Here's some visualization after optimization and adaptation. Here's something like the street food, multi-purpose halls, and offices and place for the meeting. There's offices, and in this new part, there's co-work space, and in the underground, meeting point and parking. Section of our solution and how we solve some problems with the reparation of the old building and the new underground parking. Here's some visualization. For example, the entire furniture in the hall is collected by the new community. We use this kind of the interior design as the how to connect the people. And next part is new co-work space above the old building. It's open, flexible space for everything, and it's really good with really good adaptation in the future. Visualization of the interior. And from the construction is something like a glulam timber frame module with a curtain wall with glass, and the glass facade is with electrochromatical glass and the transparent photovoltaic foil, which cover the interior between the overheating. Next topic, that our point of view, entire human production ends like a waste. And in the future, we think that the recycled materials and the materials from the waste will be the materials of the future. And the reusing and recycling is one way how to find new sources. Next way is work with selective demolition and urban mining. So we designed this library of the known or atypical materials from waste, demolitions, etc. For example, we have some materials from COVID mask fibers. And here you can see that we use this kind of materials are on the same level like a typical materials, and we use it on our co-living building for the adaptation of the historical building and for the new part of the work, co-work, and where we use, for example, common sense for it glass. That's a glass from the electrotechnical waste, peg walls board, that's from the milk box, plastics, from the COVID mask fibers. This is, I really like this thermal bridged stops. That's from TPA gums. That's from the Chevy gums. And the last part, how we use our aerogel in our design. So we use our aerogel as an internal insulation systems in our old buildings for the facade and for some typical or atypical details on in the new part of the building. And we design it as the combination of aerogel OSB insulation boards. So we take the aerogel insulation with some thickness and typical aerogel adhesive and glue it for the OSB panel, which works as the vapor barrier, and some supporting system for the aerogel. And one of the reasons is that due to the heritage values of the building, it was necessary to take these bricks as the visual from the facade. And after it, we drew some details and the application for the building with the catch all historical parts. And after optimization, the energy demand of the building or the class was improved from the G class to A class. Our solution, in our point of view, is a little bit atypical, so it was necessary to make some thermal bridges simulation where we checked some problematic spaces with surface temperatures and humidity fields. After it, we know that we don't have a problem in the construction systems. Here you can see the status of the building between the adaptation. Everyone see that very bad, but biggest problem was the catastrophic status of the building. After it, we have new sustainable building with heat demand on the level low energy buildings and A class, and operational emission of the buildings are below the zero or near zero. So that's all. Thank you very much. I would like to show you that it's possible to work with the heritage protection, waste materials, and the aerogel in the one building. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jiří. And we would like to hear any comments and reflections from jury on this project. Architect Beat Kempen.
Thank you very much. You explained already everything in very good details. So the comment of the jury is the project is part of the transformation of a large brownfield outside Warsaw in Poland. An old factory is adapted, restored, and extended to a cultural center. The old building is characterized by a brick facade and a wooden roof construction. In the new addition, recycled materials are used, and the minimized architectural expression contrasts strongly with the masonry of the existing building. The facade with the nicely detailed brick masonry of the existing building are carefully restored and preserved. To save the facade, they are insulated on the interior with 60 mm aerogel panels and a climate-regulating clay plaster. Integrated photovoltaic panels on the roof construction complete the energetic system. Thermal insulation of the construction. Thermal simulations of the constructions prove the effectiveness of the chosen solution. The study is a showcase renovation project for different sustainable constructions, including the advantages of aerogel. Thank you.
The last selected project in this joint category of nominated projects is a realized project of renovation. Manor Estate House Guthaus Schaffhausen, located in Wickede, Ruhr, Germany, from architect Friederike van der Loo Schulze Schwienhorst. Studio Wohnenplaner, located in Münster, Germany. Unfortunately, she could not join us today, and it will be presented via pre-recorded presentation. But we would like to acknowledge also contribution of engineer Ralph Kruger for site management and construction supervision, Lower Monument Authority of City Wickede, and Upper Monument Authority of LVL Münster, as well as ESV Engineering Office from Arnsberg. So following will be presentation via pre-recorded presentation.
Es mutet an wie ein Märchen der Gebrüder Grimm. Nur dass in dieser Geschichte nicht die Prinzessin erwacht, sondern das Schloss. Jahrhundertelang war an diesem entlegenen Ort zwischen Ruhrgebiet und Sauerland wenig passiert. Es ranken sich nur schemenhaft Erzählungen um dieses Gut. Es wird Zeit, dass neue Geschichten dazukommen. Eine davon erzählen wir jetzt. Dabei geht es um Denkmalschutz, der Historisches erhält und für die Zukunft konserviert. Es geht um altes Handwerk, dessen ganzes Wissen hier einmal eingemauert wurde. Und um Wände, die nach Hunderten von Jahren wie ein Lehrbuch wieder geöffnet werden. Und es geht um eine Unternehmerfamilie aus Dortmund, die hier einen neuen Lebensraum und Ort der Begegnung schafft. Das Rittergut Schaffhausen.
Dear listeners, unfortunately, I cannot stand before you in person today. I can therefore only report on Gut Schaffhausen in this way. You have already seen in the brief introduction of a film that we produced that documents the 5 years of veneration of Schaffhausen estate. What a special place is being worked on here. But to achieve this result, a lot of patience, hard work, expertise and communication with experts and executing companies were necessary. I would like to give you a brief overview of it. Gut Schaffhausen was built in 1743 as a manorial estate. It is a half-timbered building, but the builders wanted it to look like a stone house, which is why it was already plastered at that time. About 100 years ago, small extensions were made, a winter garden at the back, and about 80 years ago, a small toilet tower was added in the corner between the main building and the north wall of the chapel. When the current owners acquired the house and property in 2018, we did not yet know what lay ahead of us. The general planning was initially quickly done. The main house will remain a residence for a large family, and the chapel will be converted into a meeting and seminary room, relaxation room, and now also serves as a civil registry office for weddings for the community. An adjoining washhouse replaces the toilet tower. Here you see a photo from the first day of inspection in 2018. Then we approached the property, and after the vegetation was removed, the first part of the problem became apparent. The entire base areas had been often plastered with cement finish, and when this plaster was also taken down, the house was revealed, both internally and externally. The major issues in the restoration of the timber framework became evident. At the same time, we considered how we could tackle the plastering issue, as there were already some considerations regarding the energy supply of the house. The goal was to heat with as low a temperature as possible. The aim was to heat it as ecologically as possible. And the objective was to use building materials that could all be separated from each other if one wanted to do it differently. And the following decisions were then made. At the southern edge of the property, there was a barn that had since been converted into a breeding stable. And in the basement of the stable, a heating house with a double wood chip heating system was built, which can now supply all buildings of the property in the form of a district heating network. Then it was decided to excavate 50 centimeters of the non-solid part of the main house to bring in crushed glass as a base for the new floors. They are all equipped with underfloor heating. Additionally, wall heating has been integrated into the clay plaster in critical, potentially thermally critical areas. Now the topic of exterior plaster came up, and we initially considered using panels, but the Monument Protection Office pointed out that there is also a thin insulation plaster available. So let's take a look at that. Oh, that's Aerogel. At this moment, we have contacted various manufacturers. Ultimately, we decided on the products of the company Hazit. Together, all details were coordinated. During the trial process, a window was also built as an example to know the connections to the subsequent trades, to learn about the workflows, and to coordinate that with the monument protection. And then it started, sure, with a big number of different details. Unfortunately, after several weeks of work, we had to find out that the first company had worked 40. This led the necessity of completely tearing down the plaster and substructure in the area of the main house, and then having to find a new company. This one worked well on it, supported by expert of Hazit, so that in December 2023, finally, after 5 years, the house's scaffolding could finally be taken down. And for the first time, we had the new house completely in front of us. In the following ones, the base coats were integrated. That could only happen after the completion of the terrace buildings, because this has to be to do together. The wonderful aspect of this very thin insulation plaster with scratch plaster is that it was able to create a very rough and also crooked and curved surfaces of the timber frame. So we still have a very old building, but with new technology and new possibilities. In German, we call it steinfühlig. We will save about 25 to 30 kilowatt heating load calculated. This also convinced the owner. Admittedly, not in the question of when it pays off, but that he wants to take responsibility for consuming less energy. And quite obviously, in combination with the newly installed chimney and stoves, it works well in the house. The comfort in the house is very satisfactory. It is warm, cozy, and through the clay plaster construction, inside the indoor climate is exceptionally pleasant. I will now show you just some photos from the inside as an example, so you have an idea. And here is a little tip. All the oak furniture elements you see in the photos were made from the old beams that were still worth preserving when the building was partially demolished. It seems modern, or? It was always done in the past. We just call it recycling or reusing now. Thank you for listening, and I wish you a good afternoon. I am pleased that we were allowed to apply and that you have appreciated our community work here so much. Thank you from Münster.
Now I will ask Architect Wehdorn to give a summary on the project. Thank you.
Several points have been important for the decision of the jury. First, it is a realized project. Second, it is a listed monument. Third, it has been really a terrible situation before restoration. So at least the jury came to the conclusion the restoration is a typical and successful example of the daily work of planners in praxis. Goal was a thermal restoration by keeping the characteristic historical grown outlook of the building.
Thank you very much. Follow will be composition performed by our artists Bronislava and Marius.
It's not our composition.
Yeah.
It's Andro.
Performed.
Yeah, from Kersh.
By ladies and gentlemen, and now arrived the moment when our esteemed jury members, architect Kempfen and Wehdorn, will announce the winners and give some remarks.
I start with the third prize. So we have seen this wonderful project of the two young ladies, Brenda and Aline. And I talked about the innovation of this project. And so you will get the third prize of this competition. So it is almost as good as the first prize.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Okay, and
Thank you.
that's a certificate.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Nice to meet you.
Yep.
Congratulations. Stay for
Thank you
photo.
so much.
We can make a common photo. With
After each music. Second prize goes to the realized project Gutshaus Schaffhausen.
since architect people join on behalf of architect, it will be handed to our assistant, Maria. And,
So then I can announce the winner. It's easy to guess now.
The prize goes to.
It's easy to guess who is the winner. It is Jiří from Prague. And I think the name of your colleague was Christina, right? Yeah. So I can give you the trophy.
I would add some point, or one point. The jury decided anonymously, we all had the same opinion, that the first prize has to go to a student project. Because last but not least, we want to honor and to encourage the students, the next generation of architects and engineers. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I can announce the most important thing probably, that every prize, third, the second, and the first project are honored with 1,000 Swiss francs. So it was worthwhile to come here. I hope so.
Perfect.
Thank you again to all speakers and winners, and thank you to the state and you could come. I would like to welcome to all the organizers, also to EMPA that it was hosting this, and also to all our helpers, Thomas, Clara, Sami, and our skillful interns. Thanks to our musicians, and I would like to express again my gratitude to our partners, Agitech, producer reseller Aerogel products for building application installations. Fixit, producer of Aerogel render. IBIH, with various Aerogel products, and Hasit, which also offers render for buildings. And with this part, we finished the official part. And for those one who would like to join, we will try to guide you around the nest. It will be not very official presentation, guided tour, but we will try our best in Sami. And you can join Apero, and for those who join the tour, the Apero will be still there, no worries, there will be some meal and drinks. And you can find our project, these projects, these submitted projects and winners published later on our webpage. It's still not published, and or our archive of YouTube channel. Thank you very much.